in sizes.
10 pounds and I...
Off the penetration. Lamar Odom with the runner. That won't go. They keep it alive. And Live brings it down for the out. Quickly up towards the broken ball. He'll wait for everybody else. Sanchez thought about it. Sets up Karcher. 3 ball. That won't go. Live reaches out. Gets the rebound and got fouled. Boy, Live wanted that one more than anybody else.
And he does almost every game. This is a very good offensive rebounding team. Live and Barnes average about 3.5, close to 4 offensive rebounds a game each in Atlantic 10 conference play, because they just continue to go after the ball. And if they are blocked out, they don't surrender to that blockout. They keep pushing through it.
Very impressive. Live 5th in offensive rebounding in the Atlantic 10, although one of the weak spots in his game, 51% at the free throw line.
And for a guy that's going to get fouled as much as he will during his career, he's got to improve that.
By leaps and bounds. 1 out of 2 for Kevin. 8-4. Temple in the lead. Rhode Island coming in off of a win Thursday against UMass. 73-67. They were down 5 at the half. Then had their best half of the season. Outscoring the Minutemen by 16 and shooting 60%. They held Mass to 31% from the field. That in the second half. Here's Murphy.
A lot of holding the ball, a lot of dribbling. Rhode Island needs to move it a little bit more, make that defense move from side to side.
Corner jump, Reynolds Steen with 2 on the shot clock, and a rebound goes to Clay, who was fouled by Pepe Sanchez. It'll be Pepe's first.
You know, Sanchez gets the foul there, but that just makes the point. You have got to be strong with the ball. When Clay brought it down, Sanchez was right there to slap it away. And they don't always call that on Pepe Sanchez.
Sure enough, there's a guy that averages 2.8 steals per ball game.
That's down from last year's second in the nation.
How scary is that? The Owls at 10 steals and change per game. And they turn it over to the Rams. The Temple ball. Owls get the ball. A 4-point lead early on here.
And the defense came a little bit over the back there, but that's a play where Lamar Odom can't just throw the ball to where the offensive man wants it. He's got to throw it away from the defense as well. Rhode Island in a 2-3 zone. They're going to play a lot of zone in this game.
Big Temple beats you from the outside. Barnes at fine Brokenborough open. Pass up the shot back cross court to Pepe Sanchez.
See Temple using the pass fakes. They're testing that defense, trying to make it move off the fake and then reacting.
Sanchez with 9 on the shot clock. Back to Brokenborough. Get an open look for 3, and he hit it. That's Brokenborough.
That's the way you attack a zone, Dave. I mean, good ball movement, putting the ball on the floor as little as possible. 1 hard dribble, getting the defense to react to it, and then kicking it out.
Brokenborough 30% from long range on the season. The Owls off to a good start. Some anxious moments for Rhode Island fans here at the Providence Civic Center. Odom, pull up. Won't go. And a rebound goes to Sanchez. They got a breakout with Barnes. Barnes will hammer 1 home. So a great start for the Owls. Timeout, Rhode Island, a 22nd timeout for Jim Harrick and company. Temple with an early lead. We'll return to Providence in a moment.
Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers have factory-trained technicians. The parts made for your vehicle. And everyday low prices on the services you need most. Now get brake service for $95 or less installed. And a Motorcraft Tested Tough Series battery for $59.95. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices. Quality care service at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Get some good looks down low and on the outside.
Well, I think he's talking to his team right now, being a little bit more patient offensively. That last shot by Lamar Odom was taken with no passes being made. When he went in for that shot, I think he surprised his teammates. Nobody rotated back. That led to the easy basket in transition for Lamont Barnes, who did a nice job running the court. And anytime you run the court when Pepe Sanchez has the ball in his hand, he's going to get it to you.
9-0 run by Temple over the last 3:20. Bars Bell to Luther Clay. That zone seems like there's 10 guys out there, doesn't it?
And a lot of teams practice that way. They'll put 7 guys out there in practice so they can go 5-on-7 just to simulate the different coverages that they're going to see.
Clay air ball. Brokenborough brings it down, and boy, Lamont Barnes changed that shot just a little bit. Archer inside. Barnes. The Rhode Island coaching staff really concerned about Barnes and Live. They're so big and patient. And they get it inside, down along the box.
They get such great position.
And they get Odom for the foul. It'll be his first, shoving Barnes out of bounds. Beg your pardon, his second foul. So we got an official timeout. 14:58 to go, first half, and the Temple Owls establishing early control here in Providence.
Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers have factory-trained technicians. The parts made for your vehicle. And everyday low prices on the services you need most. Now get brake service for $95 or less installed. And a Motorcraft Tested Tough Series battery for $59.95. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices. Quality care service at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
At your service, quality care. I hope I see you there.
I do kitchens, I do bathrooms, I do family rooms. I do not do insurance. I want to be treated like I feel I treat my clients. I want to be treated like I am their only client. Michelle Duthman treats me the same way I want to be treated. I have my cars, all of my household. I need somebody that I can get advice from. I know that when I need them the most, they're going to be there.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
It's a great relationship.
Take these off. Put these on. It's time to take a little trip where the water is fine and the crab legs are steaming hot and delicious. And for a little while, they're just $9.99 a pound. Escape to Red Lobster.
When sports cream? When legs are sore. When backs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Temple with the early 9-point lead, in part because they've attacked this 2-3 zone very effectively. Look at the ball movement that Temple uses to get it going from side to side. Effective use of the dribble, probing the gaps of the zone, forcing that defense to move, and then Preston Murphy coming toward the ball. All of a sudden, it's reversed to an open shooter who's ready to shoot. That's just good basketball, Dave, and all in large part because of the way this team has been coached.
And John Cheney, 17th year, been struggling of late from long range. Look at that, just 19%. The opponents just run rough shot from long distance. Nonetheless, Temple is still first in the Atlantic 10 in points allowed and in field goal defense.
And it's really the only thing this team is lacking is consistent perimeter shooting. They only turn the ball over 10 times a game. They force about 15 or 16 turnovers. They've got a great point guard who can control the game from that slot.
Inside Barnes, and Lamont Barnes getting everything he wants down low.
And that was a great pass because he passed it to Barnes and led him into his move, but he also passed it away from the defense, just what you want to do.
Bell dribbled right into the teeth of the zone. Barnes picked up the foul. Great setup here from Pepe Sanchez.
And he's just got such a great feel from the game. But, you know, Luther Clay was on the left side of Lamont Barnes. He threw the ball to his right hand and gave it to him where he led him into his move. Lamont Barnes had to do nothing but catch it and lay it in. He did all the work for him.
Tavares Bell at the line, freshman from West Hempstead, New York.
Well, it is so nice for a big guy to be able to work hard to get position. And when you put that hand out where you want the ball, to have a point guard deliver it right on the spot, it's extraordinary.
Luther Clay comes in, and you saw the fan favorite here at Providence, Big Ed Brown, and that is no misnomer.
No, Big Ed is exactly. He's listed at 290, but that's only the scale, and it goes that high and no more.
Number 13, Tim Vincent replaces Bell on the rim.
And Tim Vincent comes in to replace Tavares Bell. Big Ed had a great outlet pass the other night against Rhode Island, against UMass. That was reminiscent for you old school fans of Wes Unseld. The two-hand outlet, three-quarter of the court on the dime. Asked him, I said, hey, can you hit the backboard from the other end of the floor? He says, yeah, I can do it. Tavares Bell said, we're going to have to see about that, aren't we? Put a little something on there.
Rhode Island back to man-to-man. They want a front in the post, especially on Lamont Barnes.
13 on the shot clock. Inside, glides, spins, a little too hard. And Lamar Odom with the rebound.
Really picked up their aggressiveness in that man-to-man. They were a little bit passive in the 2-3 zone.
Murphy outside. Lamar Odom in the lane. Tough shot. Big Ed Brown.
And how do you block him out?
You don't.
Like blocking out a mobile home.
Ed wanted to say hello to everybody back in Amityville, Long Island. friends, Heather's girlfriend, Alice, her mother, big in with a block. So an immediate impact. They go after him again. Lie jump hook is good.
You know, for as big as Ed Brown is, he's able to get up in the air. He can move pretty well. And obviously he can get position.
There's that jump hook. Almost. Rebound Live. Sanchez, nice spin move in the lane. Tough shot, and he nailed it. Well done by Pepe Sanchez. 19-7. He's got 5 points.
He's really got that ball on the string. A great handler, extraordinary vision, a great innate sense of what to do with the ball.
Lamar Odom, big struggling so far. He's got a couple fouls. Vincent, line drive, no. Odom rebound. Odom had it blocked. Odom got it back. Finger roll, no. Missed it. To keep it alive. Odom's got it again. Taken away by Rasheed Brokenbrow. Out of bounds on Temple. And Lamar Odom just being harassed big time.
Well, Odom did everything you need to do to score except finish the play. And that makes the point that when you have the ball inside, you have to expect for it to be slapped at by Temple. They are very good with their hands. They go for steals all the time. You've got to be expecting that contact and be ready for it.
Odom 0 for 4 thus far from the field. 19-7. He got hammered going up that time by Karcher. Bronx cheer by the Providence fans, many of them on their feet, saying, hey, he's our guy. He's been getting killed in there.
A little bit too easy. Antonio Reynolds-Dean just steps up and takes Lyde out of it. Somebody's got to step in front there.
Karcher's foul, his first. Lamar Odom, heralded player of the year a couple of years ago. Well documented his travels. UNLV, and offers from pro teams, CBA, European teams. Decided to come here to Rhode Island because Jerry DiGregorio had just come on the staff, and he had played for Jerry at St. Thomas Aquinas in Connecticut.
His numbers are just phenomenal. 17 points, over 9 rebounds a game, just under 4 assists. He's in the top 10 in the Atlantic 10 in 7 different categories.
That's impressive, and pretty much locked up rookie of the year. Rebound to Reynolds-Dean. Outlet to Murphy. Murphy pull up. High arcing shot. Barely got the rim. Brown had his hands on it, but Sanchez takes over for Temple.
Murphy just didn't hear those footsteps of Rasheed Brokenborough coming from behind. Vincent doing a nice job of putting pressure on the ball, but it's so difficult to stay with Sanchez, get a 5-second ball.
And there it is. Sanchez thought that he had done the penetrating.
Well, he takes that step back dribble, and it looked like he had gotten enough space, but apparently not.
Timeout on the floor, 11:55 to go. 19-8 Temple lead here early on.
How many sugars do you want?
Oh, I'll take 2. Hey, look at the little telephone.
Keep your eye on him. He'll be over every day to use it.
That's okay. Just as long as he dials 10-10-321 first.
Isn't 10-10-321 great? You should see how low my phone bill is.
And now it's even better, you know. Save 50% off calls over 10 minutes.
Right, day or night. So I save big on all my most important calls.
Like when I call my boyfriend in New York.
Right, like when you call your boyfriend in New York. Wait a minute, boyfriend? You got a boyfriend?
Lincoln Mercury and Ford dealers have factory-trained technicians, genuine Ford parts, and now everyday low prices on the services you need most. Motorcraft shocks for cars are now just $69 or less per pair installed. On Ford light-duty trucks, just $99 or less per pair installed. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices. Quality care service at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
At your service, quality care. I hope I see you there.
Armed with the knowledge of the past, we move forward to create a better future for our children. As we look toward tomorrow, all eyes must focus on 2 key goals. First is increasing the budget for education. Second is what is the second goal?
Welcome back, everybody. It's Temple leading Rhode Island 19-8, and we want to remind you your big Monday begins at 7:30 from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. Tim James and Johnny Helmsley lead the Miami Hurricanes against the 16th ranked Orangemen in a Big East matchup. Then at 9:30, Albert White, Missouri take on Iowa State, and then at midnight from the WAC, it's number 18 New Mexico battling Myron Epps and San Diego State. Big Monday presented by Big Light. By Bud Light, too, here on ESPN. Log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Temple is really shooting the ball well, and that's extraordinary considering that they only shoot about 40% from the field on the season. So they have come out firing, especially Pepe Sanchez hitting from the perimeter, but they're getting the ball inside. That's been a key for them.
Rhode Island on a point-a-minute pace right now. They certainly want to improve on that.
And you know what? This Temple defense puts a lot of teams on a point-a-minute pace. They only allow 57 points a game.
Odom, tough shot. He made it go. Gets Rudy into double figures.
One thing that Lamar Odom is doing much better than he did earlier in the season is moving to his right. Puts the ball. He's a left-handed kid. A lot of people have been sitting on that left hand, and he's adjusted very nicely to the defense that he's seen.
Big matchup. Karcher against the 6'11" Odom. Reynolds Steen came over to block it.
Lamar Odom has just incredible skills. Here he catches the ball, gets in triple threat position, and puts the ball on the floor with his right hand. He's able to pull up for that short jumper. He's got such a nice touch.
Sanchez with a look at it. A little long. Rebound live. Back out top to Sanchez.
Is there ever a time when Pepe Sanchez is out of control?
Very rarely.
You might get an argument from John Chaney on that, but his definition of out of control is a little different.
Right. Another look by Sanchez. Back rim. Who runs it down? Pepe Sanchez. Wow, heck of a move to set up Wadley.
He just knows where everybody is. He made that decision the last split second.
Karcher can't get it. Rebound to Preston Murphy. Murphy to Odom. What a play by Sanchez. Looked like a soccer goalie.
And he played soccer, and I think that's one of the reasons his footwork is so good. But if you ever seen anybody that's got such a feel for the game, you just don't see those plays made in college basketball, even on the pro level.
Not only that, he did it with the offhand, too.
Unbelievable.
Just remarkable. Reynolds Steen, baseline jumper's good. So Antonio Reynolds Steen playing well. It's his second field goal. He's got 4 points. Reynolds Steen, one of the most consistent players in college basketball.
And he's had a really good year. He struggled the last 3 or 4 ball games, in part because one of his best friends, John Bennett, a player on this team last year, was involved in a very bad car accident, right now in critical condition in the hospital. That's really taken a toll on Antonio.
Our prayers go out to John Bennett and his family. 12 in the shot clock as we approach 10 minutes in here at the Providence Civic Center. Live worked strong and got inside. Murphy knocked it out of his hands, but he recovered. Live's got 7 points.
Rhode Island trying to double down with the opposite guard, or Preston Murphy, whoever's closer, and Murphy got there in time, knocked it away, but you really need to dump down hard.
Vincent running the lane, sent back by Live.
Just took it a little bit too far. That's one dribble, kick it back out. He was going against the grain. It was a good idea. But anytime you take 2 or 3 dribbles against this zone, you're in trouble.
Kevin Live's 30th block of the season. Stops for the Owls. Here's Wadley over to Sanchez. They go with Karcher. Karcher giving up about 5-6 inches to Lamar Odom. Barnes straight on jumper. Can't get it. How about Karcher keeping it alive after Odom got his hands on it?
And you see him just wait there, using his body, pushing the man off a little bit.
Turn around by Barnes is good. Temple getting everything at once as Lamont Barnes smiles, running back up court after his 8 points.
Well, it's all because of that offensive rebound. Did a nice job in the first defensive possession, but once they gave up the offensive rebound, the defense was in a little bit disarray.
Odom sets up Vincent, straight on jumper, back rim. Lamar Odom inside. Reynolds Steen went strong, couldn't get it.
Awful lot of contact on that shot with the body.
They're letting him play. Inside, heck of a pass. That's a tough entry pass, but Pepe Sanchez made it happen to Kevin Live.
He just knows how to make the deliverance. Great vision, Left-handed kid. This is what he's looking at. Look at that mass of people, but he sees the opening. And Antonio Reynolds-Dean has to go around that big body of Kevin Lyde, who did a nice job of holding his position and waiting for the ball to get in his hand.
Got it through the needle. Remarkable. Kevin Lyde, freshman from Forest Heights, Maryland. Karcher will take a seat. Broken Burrows back in. Clay and Bell replace Vincent and Reynolds-Dean for Rhode Island.
Yeah, one of the things, Dave, when you're a big guy posting up, when you've got a guard like Sanchez who can deliver the ball, you're going to continue to post up hard because you know he's looking for you and you know he can deliver it. Some guards, when they don't make those passes, their big guys start to give up on them after a while, and they don't post up as hard, and it's almost a vicious cycle that way.
Sounds like you've been there.
I have been there. But there was a reason they didn't throw it into me, because I couldn't finish.
Torrey Jefferson. Boy, that means that's not like the voice of experience or what? Torrey Jefferson's in the game. He replaced Lamar Odom.
This is not a passive zone at all. They really get out and pressure the ball, and you would think there'd be more openings. They're awfully difficult to find. Great help and recover.
Ed Brown won't go. Rebound Lyde, and Ed Brown came over, and there's a difference maker on that. He knocked Lyde down, but he fouled him.
I mean, how tough is it to knock down Kevin Lyde?
I mean, Kevin Lyde, you know, they listen to 240. Figure he might even be about 260 by now.
I mean, you need 2 or 3 guys to knock him down, and here comes 2 or 3 guys. Boom!
Ed, nice young man, transferred in from St. John's. We played for a couple of coaches down there. Played for Ryan Mahoney, Francis Schillen. Sat out last year, and here he is at Rhode Island. Sanchez. Oh, my goodness. Just the mere thought that he could do that. That he figured he could make that play. That's a heck of a play. Timeout on the floor. 7:45 to go. It's been all Temple here in Providence.
Hey, kids and parents, stay tuned to find out how to get a set of Magic Color Change Better Blocks free.
You'll receive a free set of Magic Color Change Better Blocks, a $20 value with each set of glow-in-the-dark Better Blocks purchased at $19.95.
Watch how they bend, curve, move, and glow in new cool colors that really show. Make an everyday castle light up at night, and a pirate ship that's glowing with fright. With glow-in-the-dark Better Blocks, just turn off the light for fun that starts at night. Kids make a sword that glows, a rocket that goes, a sparkling necklace, a dazzling ring, 1,001 illuminated things.
Purchase the Better Block glow-in-the-dark set for $19.95 and get a set of Magic Color Change free. That's a $40 value for only $19.95. Ask your operator about wheels and axles and our 501-piece jumbo tub. Parents call 1-800-242-4200 to order a set of glow-in-the-dark Better Blocks for $19.95. That's 1-800-242-4200.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili, baby back rib. I want my baby. Chili, baby back rib. Barbecue sauce. I got my baby back ribs.
The 1999 ESPY Awards with host Samuel L. Jackson. Performances by Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Ray Romano, and Fastball. It's the greatest night in sports. The 1999 ESPY Awards. Live February 15th at 7:30 on ESPN.
Dave Feldman in the studio in G-Town at Miami, and careless play by G-Town. Anthony Perry with the, oh, who was that to? It was to Tim James. That's who it's to. Miami up early. Dave Shins, Jay Billis, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Nice to see the Big East high jump champion from a couple of years ago get an easy one. Tim James here in Providence. Pepe Sanchez, Jay, heck of a day.
And he's so much fun to watch. Already has 5 points, a great spin move in the lane, under control, stepping into his 3-point shot. He's got 4 assists. But here was that behind-the-back pass that got knocked out of bounds. We loved it because we know the difficulty of that kind of thing. You don't see it very often. But John Chaney went absolutely nuts over there. He wants his point guard to make the easy pass, not try to do anything fancy. And you're looking at John Chaney. That's a guy that quit the Harlem Globetrotters where he roomed with Meadowlark Lemon because it wasn't legitimate basketball. I mean, he's saying they're practicing kicking the ball in, for crying out loud.
I can hear John right now. What the heck are you doing?
I mean, look at him. He's still thinking about that behind-the-back basket. And what was he thinking?
And guess what, folks? That TU is John Chaney's club. He's got a 13-point lead. They've done a lot of things right this afternoon.
See, but he's thinking it should be 15.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, if you would have thrown that pass the right way, it'd be 15.
Brokenberg extends his pressure out a little bit. Wadley against DeVar's belt. Man, Wadley's way outside.
Going with the two-guard front.
Ed Brown cross court, and that was major order for Pepe Sanchez. Temple on the run. Set up. 3-ball, Brokenborough. Can't get it. And the rebound out of bounds, and it will be Rhode Island ball. Odom back in the game.
What a smart play there by Pepe Sanchez. He took the ball away from his shooter so he could draw the defense away and give Brokenborough enough time to put up that shot. Brokenborough, the lefty, just missed it.
So Lamar Odom came in for Ed Brown. It's Murphy and Bell, Torrey Jefferson, Luther Clay, and Lamar Odom for Rhode Island.
You know, one thing, Dave, that this Rhode Island offense is not doing, they're not utilizing their pass fakes. They need to reverse the ball, but they also need to fake their passes.
Boy, how about Barnes? Barnes came from the far side. Murph knocks down the 3.
That's a good point you make about Barnes having to cover so much territory. He's the bottom one on that 1-3-1 matchup. He's got to go from side to side. That's why ball reversal is so important. Make him run.
Brokenberg got what he wanted, right to the glass. Lays it up. So Brokenborough, he's got 5.
You know, one thing this Temple zone does to you, well, you've got to concentrate so hard offensively and work so hard. Usually offense is the easy part. Then they've got to run down and play defense. I mean, it's just a draining game.
Murphy again, can't get it. Rebound Sanchez. Sanchez with 5 rebounds already. 6 minutes to go first half.
You know, Sanchez as a guard, 7th in the conference in defensive rebounds. That's amazing.
They come to double team. Wadley open, extra pass. Sanchez back to Barnes. 16 on the shot clock. Brokenborough, another 3-ball. Got that one.
You know, that's great basketball. Getting the ball inside, it's not there. Kick it back out, reestablish position, and then Sanchez on the drive and dish.
Brokenborough with 8. Temple 30-15, doubling up on Rhode Island.
It's just been a clinic.
Biggest lead for the Owls. Here is Odom. Count it. Talking to Lamar, pretty pumped up about taking on Temple today, given how poorly he played the first time. Lamar's got 5 points.
Well, it's been a struggle this time as well, but you can see the athleticism of this young man. A left-handed kid using the left hand and drawing the contact and then staying away, keeping the ball away from the block. I mean, that's a big-time play by a young man who's going to be a big-time player. He's still learning the game, learning where to go, but he has got skills. There's no question about that.
And he's got the long arms, got beautiful touch. The foul is on Parcher, his second. That's 6 points for Lamar Odom.
I mean, the fluidity of his game is just remarkable.
Isn't it?
As a sophomore at Christ the King High School, 15-year-old kid, he led them to the New York Catholic League title.
That's pretty good basketball.
That's amazing. He had 36 points in the finals, a 15-year-old.
Yeah, 15-year-old, something that a guy named Abdul-Jabbar and Kenny Anderson couldn't do. And Felipe Lopez. Corner jumper by Wadley, no good. Sanders is in the game. But Wadley, good hustle to get it back. Going to Keaton Sanders, one of their super subs.
Wadley's going to have to come out and let his knees bleeding.
And Sanders turns it over. Brody on the run. Murphy, back pass to Lamar Odom. In traffic, taken away by Sanchez, but they get him for the foul. Sanchez takes it away from Odom, but the foul.
Nice little leave behind by Murphy and a good catch by Odom. Anytime you have the ball, you have got to be aware of where Pepe Sanchez is on the floor. He is not about to let you go past him without reaching from behind. He has great rear pursuit defensively, and he's not afraid to go after that ball no matter what.
They give the foul to Sanders. So Keaton Sanders, his first foul.
And one of the things as a defender when Sanchez is on the floor as well, you cannot foul because he can make the play from behind.
Good trip for Lamar Odom. Got 8 points. 30-20. A 5-0 run by the Rams, and the crowd appreciating that here in Providence. Home away from home, Kingston, Rhode Island. The campus not too far from Providence, and Jim Herrick on the sideline is doing his own 5 count with Pepe Sanchez dribbling the ball.
I bet you it's a little faster than everybody else's.
You bet. Sanchez pull up. That's got no chance. That air ball written all over. Odom takes over. Lyde and Parcher ready to return to Temple. Turn action for the Owls at the next stoppage of play.
Right now, Odom coming out a little bit further on the floor. He'd been running the baseline. There he goes back to the baseline.
Murphy stops his dribble. Brokenborough is there. Brokenborough against Reynolds Dean. Two men there. Oh, taken away by Jefferson. Beautiful play. Corey Jefferson with the takeaway. Odom, 3-ball. Bingo! Lamar Odom in double figures. He's got 11, and the Rams are right back. It's 30-23.
Well, it's amazing. Taking the ball to the basket and getting a couple scores has really gotten Lamar Odom into this game.
Timeout, 22nd timeout called by the Owls. And Torrey Jefferson, boy, a difference maker on that play where it looked like Brokenborough was going to get an easy layup. 8-0 run by the Rams over the last 2 minutes.
Lamar Odom just showing his amazing skills as a basketball player. First defensively, trying to knock Keaton Sanders off the ball. And then stealing it away from Quincy Wadley. But then on the offensive end as well, putting it on the floor with his right hand. He's got the touch on the move. And then the three-point shot as well. He has got the complete package. I think the thing that is most impressive about Odom, not only his ability to score, certainly he's a great shooter, but he's got a tremendous handle at 6'10", and he is absolutely an extraordinary passer. And one of the things Jim Herrick has been trying to get him to do, he's a great playmaker and very unselfish. He wants him to be a little bit more selfish and to take some more shots, to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. His teammates aren't going to dislike him for it. He's that good. And they know he's a terrific kid and a team player first. They want him to take more shots.
Excellent point. I was talking to Preston Murphy about it. He says, hey, he has been a great guy. And a lot of times you get a kid that heralded coming in. You're asking for there's going to be some kind of problem. There's never been a problem.
Well, I really think he would rather make the great pass than the great shot.
Right hand by Brokenborough, eaten alive by Luther Clay.
They're not booing. They're saying Luther.
Odom penetrating. Odom sets up Murphy. Back outside. Torrey Jefferson. Reynolds Dean jump shot. No good. Almost with the putback is Luther Clay. Under 3 minutes to play. Temple had once led 30-15. But Rhode Island, 8 straight. Sanchez, can he stop it? No.
And that's not the shot he wants.
Reynolds Dean gives it up to Odom. Pace Pickens up, picks up. Back to Odom inside, lays it up and in. He's got that long reach, and he laid it up over the defender. 13 for Lamar Odom. Under 2.5 to play first half. It's a 5-point game.
Odom, the ability to just knife to the basket and avoid the contact. So smooth.
10-0 run by Rhody. Last 2.5 minutes. Wadley. Pull up. Can't get it. Parcher. And he gets it back to Wadley. That's for 3, and he hit it. Boy, did the Owls need that one.
And what a big play. Parcher pushing off down low to get position. Referees didn't see it. But anytime you get that offensive rebound, you are so vulnerable to the three-point shot on the kickout, and that is such a deflating play.
Jefferson taken away by Sanchez. Brokenborough. Jefferson challenging, and the bucket is good by Brokenborough.
Well, that time Brokenborough decided to take it right to the basket rather than the pump fake.
10 points for Rasheed Brokenborough. Averages just under 12 a game. 35-25, back to double-digit lead.
When was the last time Temple put up 35 points in the first half?
Been a while, and tipped out of bounds. It'll stay right here. Joe DeMeo with the call, but it was tipped out by the Owls. Got a timeout on the floor, and Rhode Island has made it a game. It's 35-25 with $1:20 to go first half.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Hey, let's talk New York. Let's talk pizza. Let's talk big. Like the new Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. It's so big it's got 3 zip codes. You need a road map to find your way across. It's so big on the other side, it's almost Cleveland. It's a genuine street corner 16-inch New York-style pizza with 8 big floppy foldable slices dripping with cheese and tomato sauce that's really, really good. At a price that's very un-New York. $9.99. $9.99. You can't even get a taxi for that price. The Big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. The best pizzas under one roof.
Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers have factory-trained technicians. The parts made for your vehicle. And everyday low prices on the services you need most. Now get brake service for $95 or less installed. And a Motorcraft Tested Tough Series battery for $59.95. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices. Quality care service at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
At your service, quality care. I hope I see you there.
Good to have you with us for some really good Atlantic 10 action, everybody. Temple leading Rhode Island by 10. And hey, you know what? You really aren't a college hoop fan unless you have ESPN full court. Today's lineup includes Notre Dame Seton Hall, ACC action in Maryland, Michigan State, and Iowa, Cincinnati DePaul, Ohio, and Purdue. And that's just one day. With ESPN full court, you get games almost every night right through the postseason conference tournaments. Call DirecTV or Prime Star now for special end-of-season pricing. 1:20 to go, first half. Torrey Jefferson lines one up. Won't go. Karcher on the rebound. Quick shot off the inbound.
Still a good look.
Pepe Sanchez with Brokenborough, Karcher, Lyde, and Wadley on the floor for the Owls. The Murphy, Reynolds, Dean, Clay, Odom, and Torrey Jefferson for Rhode Island.
Good defense by Rhode Island. Preston Murphy getting over those high screens. What Temple's really looking for off those high screens, a little double on the other side, and then to get the ball inside.
Karcher with 5 on the shot clock. Had it blocked by Reynolds Dean. 2. Lost it. Shot clock violation. Turnover. It'll be Rhode Island ball. And that's not a good sign as Murphy and Reynolds Dean both slow to get up. And
especially given the injury problems that Preston Murphy has had this season. He started the year out with some horrific ankle problems, and that might be the problem here.
See if he rolls anything.
Ball on the floor, and then Karcher falls right on top of that ankle.
Ooh, jeez.
And that's been a real problem for Preston Murphy. In November, he twisted those ankles badly where he had to miss ball games. He's still been unable to practice for long stretches, but he can play. You can see him limping on that right ankle.
That's a huge loss for Rhode Island. Coming up at halftime, our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Miami's rolling. That's for sure. Northwestern and Penn State. Dickie V's all Rolaids team. Dave Feldman will have that for you coming up in just a few. Vincent's in the game.
At halftime, you get some of that wisdom of Dave Feldman, who was an assistant to Tom Davis at Stanford.
Coach Tom, that's right. He's going to be moving on from Iowa.
And I hope he stays in coaching. One of the great gentlemen in all of college basketball.
Here, here. Luther Clay got a roll. So with 20 seconds to go, Luther Clay with his 4th point, 35-27 Temple. Owls going for the last shot.
Want to take it with about 4 seconds left if they can, so they've got just enough time for an offensive rebound, but not enough time for Rhode Island to take it the other way.
3 seconds in the paint. Brokenborough set up with 1 pump fake. Did they get it off? Not well done by the Owls. Great defense by Rhode Island. Temple with Rasheed Brokenborough, 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting as a 35-27 lead. And Dave Feldman, pretty good half by Temple, withholding a run by Rhode Island here in Providence.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. You are right. A good one in the A10 at Providence. Of course, we've got plenty coming up for you at the half. The Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, including Miami and G-Town. Johnny Hemsley, Mario Bland, Raising Cain with the Hoyas. The halftime report is next.
difficult is that I'm coming out of the light rough. From this position, I'm going to need to be able to attack the pin. To do that, I'm going to need optimal spin and control coming out of this light rough. Let's see how the Pure Spin's diamond face holds the green. Now that's the kind of performance you need to shoot lower scores, and that's what the Pure Spin can do for your game.
I mean, I'm using the same swing. It's got to be the club.
My lessons come up to me and say, you know, how can I get the ball to back up on the green, or how can I hit the shots like I...
Because he's Larry Bird and you're Tweety Bird doesn't mean you're related.
I don't know.
End of my career. Maris and the Cardinals did go to the World Series, and they were pushed to 7 games by the Detroit Tigers.
And here's Roger Maris and the Cardinals.
Balance, other guys stepping forward.
Odom started 0 for 4 and then made his next 4 shots. Leading the way for the Rams. Temple on the attack first. Karcher left hand. Bowls over Reynolds. No call, and they let him play on.
And Karcher still has a bagel in this ball game. Didn't score in the first half.
Reynolds Dean takes it off to Bell. That's a 3 ball. He's got it. For Tavares Bell, and keep in mind, Preston Murphy, pretty impressive that he's back after rolling his ankle, but he can't be at 100% for Bell.
Well, he's a tough kid.
Yes, indeed. Bell, his first bucket, he's got 3.
And Bell now, that was his 8th three-pointer of the year, shooting 50% from 3 for the season.
Long look by Brokenborough. Lyde, classic rebound. Didn't bring it down below his shoulders. Kevin Lyde with the bucket.
They do so much good work with their offensive rebounding. They almost block out on the offensive end to keep their guy from getting it so they can get that offensive board.
The Clay turns around. Oh, Karcher just overpowers everybody for that rebound. Boy, he just ripped that one.
He is built like a 6'5" fire hydrant.
Karcher way outside. Long stroke, no good. Bell rebounds.
See, Karcher struggled a little bit. He needs to get in the game by taking the ball to the basket, not so much from 3.
Odom to play. Back to Bell. Here's Reynolds Dean. Fadeaway baseline jumper's good. Boy, he's been very proficient this afternoon. 6 points for Antonio Reynolds Dean.
He's got a nice medium range jump shot. When Jim Herrick changed his offense a little bit, he went from a 1-guard front to a 2-guard front and allowed Reynolds Dean to start patrolling the middle a little bit more around the free throw line. His numbers really went up, and so did Lamar Odom.
Here's Karcher. Lyde wants it down along the blocks. He gets it. Back to Karcher up top now to Sanchez. This is Brokenborough, and they got a foul. And that's against Rhode Island's Reynolds Dean.
Reynolds Dean just trying to get around in front of Lamont Barnes and to discourage that pass from coming in. Rhode Island wants to front Barnes because he's just so dangerous when he gets the ball. Make them throw over the top, but getting around him is so hard because he does such a good job posting and staying long.
First foul on Reynolds Dean.
2-3 zone for Rhode Island, out of bounds under.
Temple in no hurry. 5-point lead. They led 30-15 before Rhode Island went on a big run led by Odom. Turn around. Boy, missed the iron, but look at this. Comes right back to Karcher. Brokenborough in the deep corner.
Yeah, that ball coming out to Karcher, just your guards not being aware. They got to get that.
Kick ball, new clock. Odom. Hey, wasn't intentional. Quincy Wadley. Quick replacement here. He's in for Brokenborough. Owls with a 5-point lead. Temple 8-1 in the Atlantic 10, first place. They have a 2-game lead over 6-3 Rhode Island. A timeout called by the Owls. Difficulty trying to get the ball in bounds. 20-second timeout. John Chaney and his crew won 8 of 9. Meanwhile, Rhode Island playing well as 3 straight wins and winning 6 of their last 8. Tomorrow at 3:30 on ABC. There's more great college regional action. Some of you will see Florida State take on North Carolina in the ACC, or Oregon State meets UCLA in the Pac-10, or Kansas against Colorado in the Big 12. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Well, whether you get that Florida State or the Oregon State game, you're going to see two coaches that have done remarkable jobs. Steve Robinson of Florida State has that team in 4th place in the ACC, and Eddie Payne at Oregon State with DeAndre Tanner running the point has done a marvelous job. That place, Gill Coliseum, one of the toughest places to play in the country.
Sure is. Jump hook, hot, live down it. No good, and Luther Clay brings down the board. So Murphy moving pretty well after twisting the ankle. Odom draws a double team, steps in between, they tie him up. He got the timeout called before he was tied up.
And he got the verbal. He didn't have to make it with his hands. He did it by yelling timeout. But I'm not sure that this is a good play. It's a good play by Lamar Odom and very smart. But I'm not sure this is what the rule intended, to have guys when they're getting tied up calling timeout all the time. So you can see it looked like they tied the ball up before he called the timeout. See, Quincy Wadley gets his hands on it. Whenever you get into a double team, what this rule does when you can reach in, tie it up, and get possession rather than go into the arrow, it encourages coaches to say, you got to start swinging. Start swinging your elbows and make somebody pay for coming in there to try to tie you up, because they don't call the contact on the arms when you're reaching in. And it's just like Mateen Cleaves in that Temple game that you did earlier this season. Sure. When Mateen Cleaves caught that ball, what he really needed to do was start swinging. And he didn't do it because he wasn't as aware of it earlier.
Murphy with a range bomb. That one won't go. Bell put it back up under duress, and he scores.
Well, Tavoris Bell has been a nice lift for this team. Not only hitting that 3 to start the second half, but also putting that ball high off the board.
So Tavares Bell, he's got 6 in. So much for the command Temple had in this game. Once up by a 30-15 count.
And he and Wadley are going after it.
Here's Barnes. Got Hack going up. And foul's going to be on Odom. It is. It's his third. Third foul on Lamar Odom.
Ball goes inside. Odom trying to stay between Barnes and the basket, just reaches in. But when you've got a shot blocker back there like Luther Clay, you want to wait. Look at that nice rebound. Bell sticking around the basket and going just up and over Kevin Lyde.
Lamont Barnes at the line, 64%. Third foul on Odom, and that's not a good note for Rhode Island with just 3 minutes and 17 seconds into the second half.
This needs to show some discipline.
Lyde gets a rebound, puts it back, won't go. Karcher's there, and a foul against Temple.
But Lyde going back after the ball after the miss, and that's pretty prevalent for big guys. When you miss a shot inside, you're very likely to go after that rebound and go over the top.
The frustration really makes you crazy when you miss a chippy like that.
Yeah, especially when they're right in there close.
Sure. Bell outside, penetrates. Got hit. Foul before. It's on Quincy Wadley.
Wadley reaches in a lot. He's very strong defensively, but really kind of asked for that foul on the other end. He and Tavoris Bell have been jockeying for position and pushing and shoving a lot. And that's where that foul came from.
Odom pull-up is good. Makes it look easy, doesn't he? One dribble, put it up. He's hit his last 5 shots. 38-36 Temple. Rhode Island fans come to their feet looking for a stop.
Rhodey in the man-to-man.
Karcher going right after Odom. Odom's got 3 fouls. Karcher missed. Karcher makes.
Not a whole lot that Lamar Odom could do there. Had to stay behind, and that was a smart play to get the ball into Karcher and go right at Odom.
And just his first bucket of the afternoon. He's got 2 points.
But that's the kind of play that can get him going. He fuels his tank on the offensive end.
Jump hook. Play. No. Rebound ripped down by Wadley. Temple Owls, the 8th best scoring team in the Atlantic 10. Here's Barnes, wheels inside, hangs, fires, and he'll go to the line.
Lamont Barnes so tough on that low block. When he came to Temple, he played alongside Mark Jackson at the power forward slot and was able to work the baseline extraordinarily well. Last year had to play center, so he really worked on his back to the basket game. This year back to the power forward slot, but he still goes down in posts. He's got the ability to face up, hit that short jumper, and you can see put the ball on the floor and get it to the basket.
Reynolds Dean's foul, his second. 3rd team foul on Rhode Island.
One thing you love about Lamont Barnes is his consistency of effort. He comes every day to play. Not flashy, but he goes to work. Barnes from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Another pretty good player came out of there a couple years ago. Greg Buckner played at Clemson.
Indeed. Timeout on the floor, and Temple with the lead. And Rhody hanging tough.
We mill wheat into flour, process and refine oil seeds in Mexico, produce sweeteners from corn in the U.S., Brazil, and Europe.
Did you see this?
And operate 19 meat processing facilities in North America.
Yep. And look what they did with it.
Where these days, there's some good news for everyone. Cargill, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it. We go more places than any airline in the world. Rising is global.
Did you know you can get a 6-cylinder Nissan Frontier for less than the cost of a 4-cylinder Tacoma?
6-point Temple lead here at the Providence Civic Center. Atlantic 10 basketball coming your way. And there's more college hoops action tonight on ESPN. At 7:30, it's Villanova traveling to the Carrier Dome to take on the trio of Jason Hart, Ryan Blackwell, and Eitan Thomas in the 16th ranked Syracuse Orangemen. 9:30, it's Eddie Sutton's 21st ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys taking on an interstate rival, the Oklahoma Sooners. Adrian Peterson and Desmond Mason lead the Cowboy charge. College hoops doubleheader tonight on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Game summary to this point. Neither team, a lot of bells and whistles shooting-wise. 4 of 10 from long range, and Rhody just 2 of 7.
Well, the second half been more of a grinded-out type atmosphere. You're not going to get anything easy going against Temple. You just have to work the ball, continue to go to the offensive glass, and be aggressive.
A little bit too aggressive by the Owls. Mark Karcher. Second foul on Mark. Quincy Wadley returns to action. He'll replace Brokenborough in the Temple lineup.
So this zone defense that Temple puts on, a matchup zone, it is not without its openings and without its weaknesses. You just have to be patient in exploring those gaps and those weaknesses, but also you have to be aggressive and decisive in making your moves. And as Jim Herrick talked about, so important to put the ball on the floor and get into that zone, be able to pull up for the jump shot or kick it opposite.
Second meeting between these teams in Philadelphia back on January 16th. Temple a 76-63 winner. They had only 4 turnovers in that game against 18 for Rhode Island. 5 players in double figures. Here's Bell way outside, short this time, wide rebounds.
Luther Clay's got a little more, get more active inside, flashing to the ball, making the defense move. He's just standing a lot inside.
Sanchez gets it to Barnes against Reynolds Dean. He'll reset, they give it back.
He does a good job of that, reestablishing position after he kicks it back out. Look how low he's trying to get now.
Here's Wadley. 3 ball, in and out. Rebound to Tavares Bell. So Bell, a guard, just under 4 rebounds per game. Lamar Odom. Looks like it's going to be Lamar time. Hook shot. Won't go. Got the rebound. Fade away. That won't go. Rebound Bell. Take that, Reynolds Dean. Lamar Odom. 3. In there. Lamar Odom with a triple. 42-39 Temple.
And Dave, you can almost count on it in college basketball. You get an offensive rebound that is not an immediate stick back, and you're going to have a wide open 3 if you bother to look out to the perimeter. That's just what Antonio Reynolds Dean did, and Lamar Odom made Temple pay for not cleaning up the defensive glass.
18 for Lamar Odom. He's already surpassed his average. He averaged 17. That's a team high. Sanchez. Offensive foul. Reynolds Dean. What a warrior. Second foul on Sanchez. Reynolds Dean was just absolutely battling Lamont Barnes and then stepped in at the right time and took the charge.
And that's really difficult to do, to come from behind when you're playing post defense and cut off that baseline. But Antonio Reynolds-Dean was the Rookie of the Year in this conference in 1996 out of Georgia. And he was also on the all-defensive squad the last 2 years. So a young man who's very capable of playing on the defensive end and changing the game there.
Odom with the step. The pull-up won't go. Rebound tipped by Lyde to Karcher.
Odom is just so smooth.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
And the fluidity of his game.
Karcher's got room. Hit the three. So Mark Karcher finally buries a long one. He's got 5 on the afternoon.
You know, it was funny, though. That was the first time all game he's followed his shot, and the time he follows it, it goes in.
It never fails, eh? 45-39 Temple. Under 13 to play. Bell left wide open. In and out. Tough break.
Still a good look, and Tavoris Bell, a much improved shooter.
Real quick to Wadley. Turned it over. And here comes Rhode Island. Lamar Odom. Taken by Sanchez. This will be an easy win for Karcher. Boy, Odom was a great look because he had some guys down the floor, but Sanchez was right there to pick it off. Another steal for Sanchez.
Now, John Chaney is just beside himself, or at least he was a second ago, upset with Pepe Sanchez for throwing that ball away. And even after he made that steal for the easy basket for Karcher, Chaney was still on him about it, and Sanchez just had to say, my fault. He patted his own chest.
Reynolds-Dean been hot from that spot. 47-41 for Antonio. He's got 8. Jim Herrick rooting his ball club once.
Jim Herrick knows whenever you go against Temple, it's going to be a grinding game. And got to be pleased with the effort he's seen out on the court.
Barnes double team. Rhode Island takes over. They tied him up. Lamar Odom. Nice play. Got a timeout on the floor. 11:51 and a 6-point Temple lead. But here comes Rhodey.
Refreshing as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch beer.
Did you know you can get a 6-cylinder Nissan Frontier for less than the cost of a 4-cylinder Tacoma? Think about it. That's like getting 170 horsepower but only paying for 150. Or like getting 2.5 tons of towing capacity but only paying for 1.75 tons. Amazing how they do that. The Nissan Frontier. Ranked best compact pickup in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates.
Hey, let's talk New York. Let's talk pizza. Let's talk big. Like the new Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. It's so big it's got 3 zip codes. You need a road map to find your way across. It's so big on the other side, it's almost Cleveland. It's a genuine street corner 16-inch New York style pizza with 8 big floppy foldable slices dripping with cheese and tomato sauce that's really, really good. At a price that's very un-New York. $9.99.
And I saw Seton Hall on, Dave, that's an excellent point, and I saw Seton Hall Tuesday night. The same thing happened to Shaheen Holloway. His big people do not do a good job of protecting him. Here in our game, watch what happens here down low, Jay.
Well, the ball goes inside to Lamont Barnes. The double team comes from Lamar Odom, and he gets one hand on the ball. They called that a tie-up. The whistle came awfully quick, and that's a little bit of one of my pet peeves, Dave. The referees are so quick to call it a held ball, and I find it hard to believe that you can get one hand on the ball, and all of a sudden it's a tie-up. I think you got to wait a little bit longer before blowing that whistle, but still a good play by Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom, pull-up game, and I tell you what, we heard Jim Herrick talk about the fact that not many kids have the pull-up game. Well, Lamar's showing it today. He's got 20 points on 7 of 13 field goals, and that's after an 0-for-4 start.
Yeah, and that's just a great play. Most kids, when they put the ball down, they've got to take it all the way to the basket or just take the three-pointer. Not many players have that intermediate or mid-range game. Lamar Odom certainly does, and he's just going to get better and better.
That is the biggest gripe I hear from coaches all over the country. Sanchez, long range, deposit, no return.
Well, see,
he's got 8.
The mid-range game is the second biggest gripe I hear. I always hear we need more money first.
Yeah, right. Well, that's almost a given, but that's a very good point. Loose ball, they turn it over. Down to Broken Barrel. Found a gap in the zone. Left it for Barnes. Barnes off the glass. No good. Rebound Bell. Outlet to Murphy. They got numbers 3 on 2. Murphy, bounce pass. Reynolds Dean lays it up and in.
That is a great leave behind by Preston Murphy, and he almost took out the defender by himself to open up that space for Antonio Reynolds Dean on the sweet finish.
Reynolds Dean has 10 points. In the corner, Broken Barrel. Back to Rashid. Thought about it. Got room this time. Broken Barrel with a triple. Rashid Broken Barrel with 13 points on the afternoon.
That's his first score of the second half. He had 10 in that first half, going 4 for 8. A little bit quiet coming out in the second half.
Approaching the 10-minute mark. Dave Simpson, Jay Billis with you. Providence, Rhode Island at the Civic Center. And Odom wanted that one. Sanchez said, hey, he was the one that came into me. And a good job by Broken Bird to walk Sanchez off. Third foul on Sanchez.
Well, Sanchez saying that Odom initiated the contact, and well, he did, but that's a good move by Lamar Odom. Anytime you put the ball on the floor and take it right into the defense, if that defense is moving, you're going to have the advantage. And the rule book says that Pepe Sanchez was in the right. If you go straight up, you are allowed that vertical plane all the way up into the ceiling. And if the offense breaks that plane, theoretically, you're supposed to get an offensive foul there. But in practice, that is not the way it works. The offense usually gets that call.
John Chaney pleading his case to Larry Limbo. That's why the delay right now.
And a wise move by the wise old Al, not only taking some time to make his point with Larry Limbo, but also getting a little bit of a freeze on the shooter.
That's for sure. Odom has been waiting for a long time.
And Lute Olson did a great job of that the other night against Washington. Late in the ball game, Washington had some free throws. Somebody fouled out, and Olson took as long as he possibly could. Tried to sub 2 guys in, knowing that it wouldn't work, but it caused a little bit of a delay.
So far, so good for Chaney as Lamar Odom front rims that one. Lamar 4 for 6 at the line today. And you look at his numbers, 65% sort of jumps out at you. Not real proficient at the line as Sanchez takes the seat. Boy, shooting 50% coming in. He's got 37 block shots, shooting 31% from long range.
And that 50% from the field. Terrific accomplishment considering how many shots he's got to take that are under duress.
Sure.
You know? And he averages 17 points a game, only takes 12 shots a game.
Unbelievable?
That's really amazing.
They get the foul on Bell, a little forearm shiver to Brokenberg. Now Lamar Odom averages 6 field goals on 12 attempts each game out. For Bell, his first. Big Ed Brown is back in the game, number 11 for Rhode Island.
Right now, Quincy Wadley going to have to run the point. Fully capable of doing that. He started against UMass when Sanchez was out.
A couple of 2 weeks ago today, we were down there.
Yeah, that only turned the ball over 5 times, the entire team.
Unreal. And Karcher buries a 3. 56-46. Karcher, after a slow start, has 10.
You know, it doesn't matter what kind of start he gets off to. He just forgets it. The next shot is all he's thinking about.
We showed that 2 weeks ago as well. Remember, he had a fantastic second half against UMass.
Wound up with 21 in that.
Murph from the corner. Preston Murphy, the senior. 3 ball, 56-49.
Murphy had his best game the last time these two teams played. 28 points, went 8 of 9 from 3.
Temple really getting it done. 47% from long range. Inside, nice block. Who was that? Reynolds Dean. Oh, they got him for a foul. They got Reynolds Dean. I thought he had all ball.
And Reynolds Dean protesting probably a little bit too much, but I think he's got a pretty good case. There you can see the penetration. Reynolds Dean stops the penetration and then goes up behind Barnes, and I thought he got all leather on that. Maybe a little bit with his off arm, but that's
Wasn't a lot. Third foul on Antonio Reynolds Dean.
And I'm not sure how the referee underneath the basket could have seen any contact from behind.
This is Lamont Barnes at the line. Third foul on Reynolds Dean. Barnes, terrific year. 7th in rebounding, 9th in block shots, and 3rd in offensive rebounding in the Atlantic 10.
Just had a wonderful career. Terrific rebounder. He's shooting about 54% from the field this season.
13 points for Barnes. Under 9 to play. 58-49 Temple. Murphy way outside. Odom into the gap. Tough shot. Follow, no good. Playing with 3 fouls and a foul called.
Go against Karcher.
Yep.
Forrest Bell. Odom was so quick off of his feet on that second jump after he missed the first shot. He's just got extraordinary skills. Still learning to play the game.
Scary, isn't it?
It really is.
He's learning with everything he brings to the table. He's still learning.
And you hate to keep heaping accolades on the young man just for talent alone, but he continues to work on his game, and Jim Herrick preaching the fundamentals to him. He's going to make him a much better player.
A lot of people figure maybe Lamar would be coming out after this year. Talking to Jerry Gregorio, he says, hey, I think he's definitely going to stay one more year. Here's Big Ed inside. Won't go. Rebound to Lyde. And they get the foul on Brown. I tell you what, that was a man's rebound inside there.
And a great rebound, and you like the way he protected it when he brought it down. You certainly don't want to see anybody swing elbows, but a big guy who gets the ball doesn't want anybody reaching in. And Ed Brown going up hard. Look at that rebound by Lyde, and he doesn't want anybody reaching in there. If you do, you might be separated from a couple of teeth. You're going to be tasting his elbow.
At best. There's a reason to wear a mouth guard.
Or a helmet.
Or a helmet. Barnes with the flush. Lamont Barnes makes it 60-49. Lamont with 15. Rhodey's going to have to get sparked up again.
And a nice penetration. You don't have to take it all the way all the time. You just make him come stop you.
Odom threw it up. Ed Brown goes up, lays it in, and a foul. Ed Brown, the transfer from St. John's.
Lamar Odom putting the ball on the floor, and looked like he just threw the ball up there for the offensive rebound. Not one of his more stellar shots, but Ed Brown bailing him out. Here you can see the nice penetration along the baseline, forcing Antonio Reynolds-Dean to come over and stop that penetration. And Rasheed Brokenborough dishing it off to Lamont Barnes with the solid finish.
Ed Brown misses. Rebound. Ed Brown had it, lost it. Let's see. Bell back to Odom. Playing with 3 fouls. Don't want to over-penetrate. He got hit. Herrick is incensed. And hey, the guy takes it to the hole. He gets hammered. I don't get a call. What are you, nuts? Jim Herrick working it hard. Pleading to Larry Limbo. Said, come on. 4 fouls on Reynolds-Dean.
Larry Limbo still talking with Jim Herrick about that last foul call. You see Lamar Odom putting the ball on the floor, and Lamont Barnes just standing there. That was a good no call. Not enough contact to call a foul for the block, certainly because he wasn't moving, but certainly not enough either for the charge. So that was a good no call by the officials.
Reynolds-Dean has to take a seat. He's got 4. Puts Wadley on the line. Once he's first is good. 65% at the line for the junior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Harris still talking to himself. His staff, Jim Jr., Tom Garrick, J.D. Gregorio. Good trip for Wadley. 7:28 to go, and Temple has extended his lead to 62-51 here in Providence.
Next, Billy.
I found all kinds of things on this totally cool new website called InPhiladelphia.com. It's got all kinds of rad stuff about our area. You know, dining, travel, business. Like my mom used it to find a new job. Dad used it to get directions and a map. And my dorky sister uses it to find out what's on TV.
A little bit. Your alma mater, that's a good ball club that he understated. They'll be #1 come tomorrow night.
They've got far more depth and quality depth than anybody in the country. And speaking of depth and balance, look at Temple, their leading scorers. 4 guys in double figures led by Lamont Barnes. The nice first half by Brokenborough came out and has 3 points in the second. Karcher with all 10 of his points in the second half. And Kevin Lyde, who had 8 points in the first half, 3 in the second. It's been all Lamar Odom for Rhode Island, though. He has 21 points. Antonio Reynolds-Dean, the only other player in double figures for Rhodey. So they haven't seen the same kind of balanced attack that Temple has seen.
And let it not be forgotten that Pepe Sanchez has 9 assists.
He probably only has 1 or 2 turnovers, which is 1 or 2 too many if you ask John Chaney. That's all he'll talk about tomorrow.
It'll be explained on the ride home. Approaching 7 minutes to go in the ball game, 62-51. And Rhodey's got to get on the attack here. 11 on the shot clock. Murphy up top. 7 on the shot clock. Murphy NBA range. No, kept alive. Temple, Rasheed Brokenborough. Going to back it off.
And good decision. Didn't have numbers. A lot of standing around for Rhode Island on the other end, especially the big guys underneath. They need to move around and flash, probe that defense.
Archer finds himself way wide open. Rebound, Luther Clay. Odom playing with 3 fouls. He's so smooth. Missed that one. Brokenborough in for the rebound. Oh, Big Ed Brown making the effort.
Well, that was coming toward us. I almost got up and ran away.
Ed Brown changed that shot. Lied inside. That was a foul. And just what the coaching staff of Rhode Island feared is the activity and the athleticism and the strength of the big men of Temple.
I think they got Odom on that foul from behind. You can see the nice rebound by Kevin Lyde. He does such a great job of getting position and keeping moving. He doesn't wait for the ball to come to him. He moves and goes after the ball. McDonald's All-American.
Foul indeed was on Lamar Odom. Heck of a bounce there by Lyde. 4th foul on Lamar Odom. Ed Brown will leave. Antonio Reynolds Dean returns. 12 points to Temple lead. Their biggest was 15 at 30-15 in the first half.
And Kevin Lyde, a young man who's also still learning the game under John Chaney, learning his defensive slides, helping recover situations. But with that crew that they've got, Lamont Barnes, Kevin Lyde, Mark Karcher, got a pretty solid front line for the next year and a half.
13 for Lyde on the afternoon. That's the lead here for the Owls. Another miss by Odom as Sanchez goes flying.
And Odom having to take some very difficult shots.
It is awfully quiet here at the Civic Center in Providence. Under 6 to play.
One of the things when you take quick shots without making passes and without making that defense work, it's kind of like throwing gasoline on the fire. All of a sudden you're playing defense again.
They get Brokenborough for the offensive foul, his first.
He just leaned in a little bit with that right arm and pushed off, and Bell did a nice job at jumping back.
That's his first. The team's 8th.
Crowd getting a little antsy here. Murphy brings it up, gives it to Odom. Karcher extends his defense.
So Murphy's got to go into that gap, collapse that defense, and then kick it out.
Yeah, he had it and then backed out.
You know, just because you can't get all the way in doesn't mean you can't probe and collapse the D.
Odom turned it over. Too many steps.
See, he's trying to do it all by himself off the dribble, and that's not what Jim Herrick wants. He wants you to dribble once hard into those gaps, make that defense collapse to you and freeze it, and then you could kick it somewhere else for an open shot or an open look where they cannot recover.
Temple calls a timeout.
I think John Chaney called that timeout to make a point to the official that that wasn't a charge on the other side by Tavoris Bell.
He most certainly did. The 1999 ESPY Awards presented by GM and Pennzoil are coming at you on Monday, February 15th, live from Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Join host Samuel L. Jackson and a bevy of guest presenters, Tyra Banks, Carmen Electra, Dennis France, Rosie O'Donnell, Rebecca Romjan, Jimmy Smits, and more. Many top athletes expected to attend, like Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Jamal Anderson, Terrell Davis, Jeff Gordon, Pete Sampras, Cal Ripken, and many more. Pregame begins at 7:30. The ESPYs on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.
Now, what would you want to wager that at the ESPYs, Dick Vitale is going to finagle his way into presenting an award with Tyra Banks?
Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. How much we got in my pocket here? Can't say that I blame him, though.
You want to talk about hustle, you would see it there.
I'd like to meet Samuel L. Jackson. He's tremendous.
He is great.
Love his work. Brokenborough backs it out. We're under 5 minutes to play here in an important Atlantic 10 game. Temple already up by 2 games over Rhode Island in the A-10 East. Karcher hit it blocked by Odom. Odom playing with 4 fouls. Got to be careful here. They need some points. Oh, boy, got away, and then a block by Barnes. Murphy, long-range bomb, won't go. Rebound to Broken Barrel, and a breakaway for Barnes, and he'll hammer this one. And I tell you what, an exclamation point by the Owls, their largest lead of the afternoon. It's 66-51.
Nobody rotated back. The quick shots, you got to get a guard back defensively, and Lamont Barnes just took advantage of it.
Oh, good pump fake by Murphy, his opposite number 32, Lamont Barnes with the foul.
You know, that breakaway brought back a memory of Lamont Barnes early in the season when playing against Indiana. He had a breakaway and went with a reverse dunk and missed it. And John Chaney didn't say anything to him because he thought it was embarrassment enough, but Barnes went into the tank a little while after that. He was so embarrassed, and he did not like that at all. He just wants his guy to go in there and dunk the ball, get it over with. He didn't want to see a show. Of course I do. I don't mind seeing it.
You know, he's in big-time anger now, up by 14 with 4:15 to go.
John Chaney, one of the all-time greats. One of the guys you just enjoy listening to. But I'll tell you what, you take a look at him. He can abuse a shirt and tie during a basketball game better than nobody else.
Broken Barrel, they crosses it, beats the pressure, finds Karcher.
He's always nattily dressed when he arrives, but looks like he's been playing at the end of the game.
Disheveled is a word that comes to my mind. Turnover by Sanchez, too many steps. And a TV timeout, 3:57 to go. And the Rams in a hole, down 13 to the Temple Owls.
Did you know you can get a 6-cylinder Nissan Frontier for less than the cost of a 4?
Alien abduction shouldn't keep you out past your curfew. Now, this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
No, Dad.
All beef, patty, special sauce. Sing it with me, son.
Lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
We got some fries, too. Yeah.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by 10-10-321. Dial it and save 50% on calls over 10 minutes.
It's Temple leading Rhode Island 66-53, just under 4 minutes to play here in the ball game. And tonight on the Deuce, a midnight snack from the WAC. It'll be number 24, Utah, led by Andre Miller and Anna McCullough. Take on the BYU Cougars. That's tonight at midnight on the Deuce. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.
Not sure anybody in the West playing any better right now than Rick Majerus' Utah Utes. And Andre Miller obviously playing extraordinarily well, but the guy making the difference for them is Alex Jensen. Had a triple-double the other day, only the 3rd in Utah history. That's a team you better watch out for in the NCAA tournament.
Reynolds Dean for a three-pointer, in and out. Kept alive. Who's going to get it? Dean's got it. Finds Murphy.
Good recovery by Temple. That was likely to be a 3 after that offensive rebound. They really covered it up.
Broken Barrel almost with the steal. Runner by Odom won't go, and I think Lamar's missed about his last 6. Clay tries to go up.
Luther Clay has been a young man that has struggled a bit this season. Had a very solid year last year, averaging about 8.5, 9 points a game this year. McDonald's All-American, who transferred from Purdue, came in under Al Skinner and thrived last year under Jim Herrick.
Luther's line drive won't go. Just 66% on the season. 4 points this afternoon.
One of the things he has struggled with is there's no Tyson Wheeler or Catino Mobley to create some things for him inside and take off some of the pressure.
2 great players from a year ago. Tyson Wheeler on the Denver roster in the NBA. Catino Mobley has got a 2-year guarantee deal with Houston.
Yeah, it's nice to see both those players, terrific guys as well as players.
What a great run they had. A couple of free throws and a couple turnovers kept them out of the Final Four.
Yeah, and Arthur Lee steal away from one of the great Cinderella stories of all time.
Here's Broken Barrel. Good anticipation by Bell with the steal. Under 3 to play, and Rudy's got to get going.
Now, Tavoris Bell is turning into a player. Terrific athlete, but he's becoming a player.
Wow! Preston Murphy, a good 5 steps beyond the 3-point line. He's got 11. Got it inside 10 points now. Back to Sanchez. They get it to Brokenborough. Back to Sanchez. Beats the pressure.
Not the way they drew it up, but it worked.
Nice pass, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay right here with 22 on the shot clock, 2:27 on the game clock.
Now that was a nice play by Mark Karcher. Didn't get completed, but when Barnes caught the ball in the corner, Karcher kept coming toward him to give him somebody to throw it to.
You can see John Chaney's distaste with some of the recent occurrences. They'll talk about it with 2:27 to go. Temple 66-57.
Look, Marion, it's those snobs, the Hendersons.
How are you? We just vacationed in Aspen.
That's nice. We called all our grandkids this morning.
And you can still afford prime rib, old boy?
Actually, we're buying extra because...
All now for Forbes. In the war against drugs, communication is a parent's most powerful weapon. Talk about alcohol and marijuana with your children. Talk.
In the waning moments here at Providence Civic Center, our Folgers storyline. Temple doing a great job from 3-point range. Traditionally, they're not a real good long-range shooting team. Barnes, big numbers. And for Rhode Island, way off their pace last time in their long-range shooting. Pepe Sanchez has been a difference maker. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and just 4 turnovers.
And his assist to turnover ratio has been great all year. He leads the Atlantic 10, but especially over the last 9 games where it's been about 4-1. And that's just stellar play. A guy who's been battling some injuries. He's had a bruised knee, had to miss a ball game.
Throw in 3 steals, not a bad game.
I mean, he's just a terrific all-around player. His court awareness is just scary.
21 on the shot clock. Brokenborough fouled by Bell way outside. For Rhode Island, that's team foul number 9.
Bell is second.
Send Brokenborough to the line.
And Rasheed Brokenborough, just a great story. Grew up in the Philadelphia area, did not attend a whole lot of classes in high school, kind of strayed away from his academics, but that's about all he strayed away from. Raised by his grandmother, and received an unfavorable ruling from the NCAA recently. They petitioned, Temple did, petitioned for an extra year of eligibility for him because he was a Prop 48 non-qualifier. If you're a partial qualifier and graduate on time, you get an extra year. And as a non-qualifier, the NCAA denied his appeal, and I think that was a big mistake.
Huge.
He is everything you would want in a player. He is going to graduate on time in 4 years as a Prop 48 non-qualifier. He should be allowed that extra year.
Odom pull up, and after missing his last 6, Odom knocks one down. Calls timeout with 2:10 to go. 68-59.
20-second timeout.
22nd timeout for Lamar Odom, 23 points. I agree with you, Jay. I thought that ruling was ridiculous.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. And John Chaney, I know, extraordinarily upset. Not right now. He's not upset with the ruling. He's upset with Brokenborough of something else. But he was very upset with that ruling. Well, he should be. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Something that needs to be changed.
Everything you want in a kid, he did.
Yeah, he did. And he's a terrific leader. And I think it's an extraordinary achievement that he will graduate on time in 4 years after having to sit out and not play at all his first year. He couldn't even be a part of the team. And coming out of high school, he was a terrific basketball player, widely recruited. Indiana and Kansas both took good looks at him before he decided on Temple. John Chaney just sold his grandmother on what Temple could do for him. And, you know, when you're deciding, I guess, between Indiana and Temple, 2 great coaches, just you got to choose decibel level.
Look out. Bell with the steal. Odom, what a play. He draws the foul.
Lamar Odom looked like he lost control of that ball in the air, but still had the presence to get it back up there. Nice steal by Tavoris Bell. He's had a terrific all-around ball game, getting the ball back and going in one-handed. He did lose it just at the end, which is why you want to use 2 hands for fear of losing that basketball. It doesn't look quite as nice, but a little bit more effective.
Boy, that's a beautiful stroke he's got. The rotation was perfect.
You know, Jim Herrick was teasing a couple of the players yesterday Preston Murphy came in and asked him to read. Preston Murphy just made the dean's list and tried to have Jim Herrick read the notice for it. He says, you know, Coach, I'm having a little trouble reading this. Can you help me with it? He says, I saw it. He says, that's good for you. He says, now you can get a job or like the rest of us next year.
25 points, 8 rebounds for Odom, picking up where he left off against UMass when he went for 26 and 11 on Thursday. A 7-point lead for Temple.
Not the place you want to pick up your dribble, and wisely calling a timeout if that's where you got to pick it up. But you needed to throw that ball back cross court to Rasheed Brokenborough. A little wasted time out there.
1:47 to go. Back to Providence in a moment.
And now, a gentleman for whom no goal is too great to achieve, no obstacle too difficult.
Greg Lesher just ticking right along. 800-499-6330. Address on your screen. Call 1-800-499-6330.
Aquí es todo diversión.
For 10 minutes by plane. If you want to drive from Scott.
5-cent Sundays. Helps me keep up with my Space Jam buddies. He doesn't even have feathers.
No types of times out remaining at all. 2 full for Rhody. Double bonus will be in effect for both clubs. Rhode Island has the possession arrow.
Still plenty of time for Rhode Island, only down 7. Minute 47. That is more than enough time to take the lead in this ball game and to come back and win it.
Sanchez against Murphy. Temple probably get it down deep. Heck of a pass to Archer.
Now they need to get into a set. They're below 10 on the clock.
7.
Nice pass.
Doesn't get any better than that. Right out of the book.
Yeah, that was just a great cut to the basket by Lamont Barnes and a nice look by Mark Karcher.
19 for Barnes. Reynolds Dean figures why not. Nobody else up there. Front rim no good. Odom got 4 fouls. Runner in the lane. Got the roll. Lamar Odom with the bucket with 1:02 to go. Lamar with 27.
Lamont Barnes is a very smart basketball player, a big guy who recognizes situations out top. He sets the high screen and then just rolls to the basket and is able to outmaneuver his opponents. It is so important after that high screen. You got to bump that cutter, and Lamont Barnes did a great job of moving to the basket and presenting himself as an open receiver, and Karcher saw him and delivered a nice pass.
Remaining schedule for the Rams of Rhode Island before we go to Philadelphia for the A-10 tournament.
A couple banana peels there at St. Bonaventure, a very difficult place to play. Tim Wynn plays extraordinarily well, especially at home, and at St. Joe's, Hawk Hill is always tough.
You can ask the Temple folks about how tough it is up at St. Bonaventure last Saturday. Owls lose up there. Standings right now, Rhody 2 games behind Temple. UMass having a dreadful year, but they're 5-4. And A-10 with just 4 teams over 500 this year. Big drop-off from a year ago when we were looking at 7 really good ball clubs.
And 5 teams getting into the NCAA tournament. So important for the Atlantic 10 tournament to finish in the top 2 of each division because you get a first-round bye. You don't have to play 4 days in a row. But you're right, Dave. Shante Rogers and GW playing extraordinarily well. GW 8-1 along with Xavier. And Shante Rogers and Lenny Brown, in my opinion, 2 of the leading candidates for Player of the Year in this league. I think Xavier and George Washington will get into the NCAA tournament. Certainly, I think Temple will as well because of the way they played their A-10 schedule and the difficult schedule they've had overall. One of the top 30 schedules in the country.
Finished that non-conference schedule at 6-6. Under a minute to play. 7-point lead for the Owls. They get it across.
Dangerous pass.
Sure was. Sanchez out of Brokenborough. They play keep away.
Can't wait for the ball to get to you here. You got to come to the pass.
And a 20-second differential between the, not quite 20 seconds, between the shot clock and the game clock. Now 10 on the shot clock. You see it on the left corner of your screen. Barnes going to take it. Barnes, pull-up, runner, no, kept alive. Brokenborough keeps it alive, and Sanchez, and that may do it right there.
And how about that play by Rasheed Brokenborough? Using the left hand to knock that ball into the air. Keep it away from a Rhode Island player who is looking to take it the other way. That's great savvy.
Bell's third foul will send Sanchez to the line.
Awfully long way away from the basket for Lamont Barnes to start his dribble. Look at Brokenborough. Odom was going to get that ball and take it the other way. Nobody really in his way once he got it. And Rasheed Brokenborough knocking it away to a teammate. That is a great play.
Sanchez to the line looking for his 9th point. And Sanchez makes it an 8-point. Temple Al lead.
And how consistent has Temple been in the regular season in the A-10? Before they lost up at St. Bonaventure, they had won 15 straight Atlantic 10 regular season games, and starting another streak right after that when they beat Dayton.
Long shot by Murphy. Barnes rebounded. Had Brokenborough ahead of the pack. Barnes wanted to get it to him, but he was fouled beforehand with 18.4 seconds to go. Temple about to put this one in the books to go 15-7, 9-1 in the Atlantic 10. This will give the Owls 9 wins in their last 10 ball games, while Rhode Island will drop to 6-4 and 13-10 overall. Career high for Odom, besting his 26 the other night against UMass. Barnes with 19, looking for more. And Rhode Island's record here at the Providence Civic Center will drop to 4-5.
You can see how unselfish Lamont Barnes was. He was trying, after grabbing that rebound, to get the ball deep to Rasheed Brokenborough. But sometimes the big guy, when you get that ball, you know you're going to get fouled. You want to keep a hold of it so you can go pad your stats a little bit, get a couple free throws.
No good, and Karcher. 4.8 seconds to go here from Providence. Lamar Odom with 27 points to lead the Rams. Not enough. Lamont Barnes 19 for the Temple Owls, who win it by the count of 72-63 over the Rhode Island Rams. Coming up next, the 1998 Ultimate 9-Ball Challenge. For Jay Billis, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Action in the Atlantic 10 Conference. The Owls get the win. Mark Karcher and company get the job done. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of...